As The Orville was about to hit our TV screens back in September 2017, critics were expecting a Family Guy in space Star Trek ripoff, laced with the type of humor fans were used to getting from a Seth MacFarlane production.
We now return to The Orville on Fox.
Why do you hate that show so much?
Because it's preventing me from doing my work here at Family Guy.
And when Season 1 premiered on September 10th, there were moments when the comedy bordered on the outrageous. But there was something else there. Something deeper. Despite a Rotten Tomatoes score from critics of 30%, fans loved the show, giving it a 94%. The show obviously had something the critics missed. It had heart. And set 400 years into the future, The Orville, beneath all the jokes, at its core maintains a hope for humanity's future that Star Trek and science fiction fans hold dear. As a result, The Orville quickly went from something we wanted to something we needed. And when Season 2 launched, it was even better than Season 1. Critics even loved it more than the audience, ultimately giving it a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Every fan could feel it. This was the start of a powerhouse franchise that would be with us for years to come. But as Season 2 was coming to a close, there had been no announcement for Season 3, and fans started to get nervous. Could the best new thing on television end before it hits its stride? As a fandom, we weren't going to let that happen. We launched the Renew the Orville fan campaign, starting the onslaught of Pickle deliveries to Fox Studios, where the Orville was being made.
Have you ever heard of a show called The Orville?
Called what?
The Orville on Fox? It's a thing.
Less than 2 months later, The Orville was renewed for Season 3. It would later be confirmed that the fans' overwhelming love and support for the show was one of the big reasons Season 3 happened. Now, almost 2.5 years since Season 3's announcement, following a global pandemic and delays, the news of a confirmed Season 3 launch date was incredibly exciting. And then something bad happened. We were told that Season 3 would be the last season of The Orville, and for a moment, there was a stunned silence across the fandom. Will this be the last season of The Orville?
No. No.
What's the matter?
No.
Well, perhaps not. But fans will have to take up the cause again. And this time it's going to take more than Pickles to convince the powers that control our favorite show. Who are those people? And what do we need to do? That is exactly what we are about to share with you, so you don't want to miss this episode. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so now, and give us a thumbs up if you want more amazing revelations about your favorite shows. Also, click the notification bell to never miss an episode. And make sure you stay tuned to the end to see how to get this awesome Orville-inspired graphic design from the amazing artists at mixtees.com. When Adrian Palicki announced the bombshell news that Season 3 would be the final season of The Orville during the Clear Eyes and Hearts podcast October 12th, the news came as a shock.
I know you just wrapped on the 3rd season of Orville. Is there anything you can tell us about it at the moment?
No, it's honestly, it's so secretive considering that it takes 7 years for it to come out. To film and then to actually come out. Like, it's not going to be out until 2022. And it is our final season.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So...
Well, that's kind of an end of an era.
Yeah, I mean, I'll miss everyone. That was definitely a family for sure, who spent so much time together on that ship. Yeah. Thank God we loved each other.
It had been less than a month since the March 10th Season 3 air date was announced, so fan anticipation and excitement for Season 3 was picking up steam. No one had even considered whether they should be worrying about Season 4 yet. But Commander Kelly Grayson may have actually done us a huge favor. Hold on to that thought, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Adrian wasn't the first person to announce that Season 3 would be the final season of The Orville. Scott Grimes, who plays Gordon Malloy, dropped the first bomb way back on May 28th. He told Randy Disher on the All Things Monk and More podcast that this is most likely the last season of The Orville because they are wrapping it up, but hopefully there will be a movie or two in the future.
Now, when do you guys come back again? Now, you guys switched. You were on Fox for a couple of years.
Yep.
Then you guys have switched over to Hulu.
Yep.
And when are we to expect it? When's everybody out there to expect it?
I was going to ask you. No, what he does, Seth, is we have to finish filming before he really even starts editing.
Yep. So sometime in 2025, we're going to see the third season of Orville.
Yeah, I would say by Christmas. Yeah. I'd say it's a Christmas release for season 3 because we're going to be done in July, and then I would say keep your fingers crossed for Christmas, and it's going to most likely the last season because we're kind of wrapping it up, and then hopefully maybe we'll do some movies.
No one took Grimes seriously because he didn't sound certain. It wasn't enough to get the fans buzzing, but Palicki's words sounded final, definite, and authentic. Her words carried weight. Surely if she says this is the final season of The Orville, then she would know, right?
Whoa, top brass alert, Captain, Commander.
Apparently that's not the case. As news started to spread, Tom Constantino, a fan-favorite producer for The Orville, took a step away from editing season 3 to address the fandom. In a tweet to the community, he said that despite some misinformation to the contrary, The Orville Season 4 is still to be determined. It would depend on audience appetite and the Season 3 response, so anything can happen. These words would send a calm across the fan base and give everyone hope. There is still a chance the show will go on. And aside from Tom's words, there are other things to also give us hope. Back in early August, Hulu's head of scripted originals, Jordan Helman, said that Hulu remains open to a 4th season and there have been no conversations otherwise. So it appears that Hulu is leaving the door open to a season 4 as well. And if this is true, then that is very good news. If in the end, the decision is up to Seth MacFarlane, then that is good news. Remember back on August 10th, Seth put out a show wrap tweet thanking the cast. He said he hoped this is not the last time they all go to space. So if Hulu is open to season 4, and Seth is open to season 4, then that means there is only one thing really holding us back from renewing The Orville. That's right, it's all of us.
All right. I had to give it my best shot. I won't bug you again.
Remember when we said Commander Grayson did us a favor? Her warning may be the thing that eventually saves The Orville from being canceled. Had she said nothing, we may not have started worrying about Season 4 until the end of Season 3, and by then it may have been too late to do anything about it. So because we know the future of our favorite show is not set in stone, we have a chance to do something about it while there is still time. So what can we do to ensure Season 3 isn't the last season of The Orville? The first thing we can do is watch The Orville Seasons 1 and 2 on Hulu before December 31st. We'll explain why that date is important in a moment.
It's like, where's the me time, you know?
Where is the you time?
We want Hulu executives to see the huge run of numbers of fans watching the first 2 seasons and do the math on the number of subscribers on Hulu watching old Orville content. While you're at it, get someone who's never seen The Orville to watch it on their Hulu account as well. Now is when we should start to broaden the fan base and create as much anticipation as possible for the new season. If possible, we want the number of viewers to swell and surpass previous year's viewing numbers. So tell as many people as you know. Since the 3rd season is going to be amazing, you're doing them a favor anyways. Second, you need to cancel your Hulu account by December 31st.
Wow.
We know this is controversial, and we aren't trying to hurt Hulu, but we need to make Hulu understand the power of the Orville fandom. If you cancel your Hulu account before the end of the year, Hulu will roll into 2022 with new baseline subscriber numbers. Then on March 10th, the day the first season of The Orville Season 3 airs, start your subscription again. Imagine being a Hulu executive and realizing you gained 1 million new subscribers on the day The Orville's new season is launched. What did Tom say? Season 4 will depend on audience appetite. How hungry do you think Hulu will think fans are when 1 million people all drop $7 on their subscription service in one day for The Orville? The third thing you can do is write 2 short letters. Make the first one out to Seth MacFarlane. Tell him why you love The Orville. Tell him why you need more Orville in your life, and explain to him what The Orville means personally to you. Tell him what it means to our fandom. If you can get your kids or nieces and nephews to draw pictures of The Orville to include with your letter, even better. Stick a 58-cent forever stamp on an envelope and send it to Seth MacFarlane, Fuzzy Door Productions Incorporated, 5700 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 325, Los Angeles, California 90036. Then make your second letter out to Hulu executive Jordan Helman. His letter should explain how much you love The Orville and that there is no way you could maintain your subscription to Hulu without original Orville content. Tell him how much the huge fandom loves The Orville. Ask him to do whatever it takes to renew The Orville because it's the best content on their streaming service, and The Orville makes you spend less time on Amazon and Netflix. Tell him if he brings The Orville back for season 4, it would inspire you to encourage all of your friends and family to make sure they also have a Hulu subscription and never cancel it. Put that in an envelope and mail it to Jordan Helman, Head of Scripted Content Originals, Hulu, 2500 Broadway, Santa Monica, California 90404. Should we send actual jars of pickles? We did it before and it helped, yes, but they've seen that trick before, and we need to shock them yet again. In an age of emails and tweets, imagine what piles and piles of letters will look like stacked on desks at Fuzzy Door and Hulu. We have it on good authority that lots and lots of letters would actually have more impact than jars of pickles. But we don't want them to forget about the pickles either. So if you go to popcast.co/Renew The Orville, you can print out the image of the original Operation Pickle delivery pickle jar with Renew The Orville on it and send that along with your letters. The fourth thing you should do is go and sign our petition to Renew The Orville at renewtheorville.org. We are asking Hulu, Disney, and Seth for a season 4, so go there right after this video. Now is the time to start collecting signatures so that we can present them to Seth and Hulu during crunch time and show that Orville fans are motivated and passionate for as many seasons as they can produce. Our goal is 1 million signatures, which should be easy considering Season 2 averaged more than 3 million viewers per episode, not counting the streaming numbers. We can do this, but it's going to take all of us. The fifth thing you should do is tweet about The Orville a lot. And when you tweet or respond to a tweet, make sure it always says @Hulu and @Seth MacFarlane along with #RenewTheOrville. The final thing you should do is make sure you watch every episode of The Orville Season 3 as soon as you can when it comes out. And after each episode, find an online community to talk about how much you love the show. Whether it is on YouTube, Reddit, or Twitter, the Orville crew and Hulu is watching and gauging the fan responses online. Tom Constantino said Season 4 would depend on audience appetite and the response to Season 3. So the fandom will need to be out and talking about how amazing the show is online after every episode. You'll be able to find a live after-show party after every episode of The Orville on the Popcast Unleashed channel, where we will be pushing each week to renew The Orville and organizing fans to keep the show going. If we do everything we can do as fans, then The Orville can live on. Let's show Seth that we want more, and let's show Hulu that we'll show up and pay for it. This is only the beginning, but the fight to save our show for the future begins now. Are you ready to do what it takes to help renew The Orville for Season 4? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Also, check out this awesome U.S.S. Orville graphic design at mixtees.com and get 20% off your purchase by using coupon code THEPOPCAST. The link is in the description below.
See you there.
Hungry for more current pop culture news? Then make sure you head over and subscribe to the Popcast Unleashed for daily content. Hear us talk about all of your favorite things. Click on the link in the description below. Until next time.
Boom, bitch! That's what I'm talking about right there on that boom! The tingles. Do you feel them? I do. We must have more.
Don't want the show to end? Become a Popcast member by hitting the join button to get exclusive content including special member live streams, Discord privileges, behind the scenes access, and so much more. Click join and let's hang out.